My child, I need you to stop everything you are doing and listen to me right now, because I have seen something in the spirit realm that made my very heart stop. This is not a message you can afford to scroll past or ignore, because the safety of your family is hanging in the balance at this precise moment. There is a list exists in the shadows, a record of names that no parent ever wants to see, and I must tell you the terrifying truth that your son's name has appeared on it. This is not a list of blessings or a registry of the righteous, but a scroll where no name should ever appear, a place of darkness and danger. The urgency of this message cannot be overstated, because your son is not buried at the bottom of this list where he might be safe for a while. His name is not second, it is not third, and it is not even fourth in line for what is coming. The terrifying reality is that his name is next, meaning he is the immediate target of a spiritual assignment that has been set in motion. I know how alarming and terrifying that sounds to a mother's heart, but you must stay strong and listen to every word I say. This message is your weapon, your only chance to fight back against the darkness and uncover why his name was written there. You must understand what you are up against so you can take action before it is too late to stop the calamity. You are likely asking yourself, Lord, what is this list, and who would dare to write my innocent son's name upon it? That is the question that demands an answer, for the origin of this list is as chilling as the names written upon it. Here is what is truly alarming about this situation. The entity who wrote your son's name is not someone new, but an ancient force that escaped from the cells just days ago. This being has broken free from confinement and has one specific agenda, which begins with the names on that list. To understand the danger, you must understand the nature of the list itself, for it is unlike anything you know. The list I am warning you about is not physically written on paper that can be torn, nor is it stored in a computer that can be deleted. It is far more dangerous and chilling because it exists in the spiritual realm, etched into the fabric of darkness itself. It is a place where no soul should ever be recorded, a registry of those marked for a specific and terrible trouble. Absolutely no one would ever want their name or their child's name to be associated with this dark decree. Yet, as we speak, the undeniable truth remains that your son's name is glowing on that list, marking him as a priority target. The shock of seeing it there, positioned as next, sent a tremor through the heavens because it signifies an imminent threat. I felt the terror of it the moment I saw it, and I know that same terror is gripping your heart right now as you hear this. But you must not panic. Instead, you must listen carefully, because this very moment is your divine appointment to intervene. This is your chance to stand in the gap and stop what is coming before it touches a single hair on his head. Before you ask me to explain the full nature of this list and the identity of the writer, there is something else I must tell you first. There is a chilling detail about the author of this list that changes everything about this battle. The one who wrote your son's name escaped from the spiritual cells just days ago, breaking a confinement that was meant to hold them forever. This is the very same entity that once swore revenge against the light, the one who was locked away years ago for their crimes against the righteous. They are free now, roaming the earth with a vengeance, and they are coming to fulfill the oath they made in the darkness. You need to know exactly who this person is and why they have fixated their hatred specifically on your son. I am going to reveal that to you next, but you must be ready to handle the full weight of the truth. If you are ready to stand for your son and uncover the enemy's plot, I need you to give me your attention for the next few minutes. In this short time, I will show you everything you need to see to claim victory over this situation. To help this message reach other parents who need to protect their children, please type "I protect my family" in the comments right now. By doing this, you are sounding the alarm in the spirit and helping to break the power of secrecy that this enemy relies on. Now let us begin the journey back to the start of this nightmare so you can understand the full picture. We must go back to the very moment the escape happened, to the night when the one who wrote your son's name broke free. It was midnight, a time of deep darkness where no stars shone and no sound was heard. Only the cold wind whispered through the ancient prison gates, carrying a sense of foreboding to anyone who was awake. The guards charged with watching the cells were half asleep, lulled by a night that felt too quiet, unnaturally quiet. Then, without warning, the lights flickered once, then twice, signaling a disturbance in the energy of the place. Suddenly the air froze from inside the darkest cell, the temperature dropping as a sinister presence awoke. A whisper rose from the depths of that confinement, a chilling voice that said simply, "It's time." The chains that had held this being for so long began to rattle, vibrating with a power that was not their own. The very walls of the prison groaned under the pressure, and then the impossible happened right before the eyes of the unseen watchers. The massive metal door bent on its own, warping as if it were made of clay rather than iron. No hands touched it, no tools were used to break it. It simply gave way to a force it could not withstand. It was as if the darkness itself opened the path, bowing in submission before anyone could even react to the breach. The entity was out, but it did not run in haste or hide in the shadows like a fugitive afraid of capture. It walked out slow, calm, and confident, moving like something that knew no power on earth could stop it now. Then a bolt of lightning cracked across the sky, a blinding flash that tore through the night and signaled the release. It was freedom, but not for a human being. It was freedom for something that should have stayed locked away forever. As it walked away into the shadows to begin its mission, something slipped from its pocket. It was something small, seemingly insignificant, but powerful enough to change the course of your life. It fell near the iron gate, a piece of paper that looked folded, torn, and ancient. It looked as though it had been carried for lifetimes, worn by the passage of ages yet still intact. And on that paper was an address, not just any address, but your address. Yes, my child, your very own home was written on that scrap of paper dropped by the escaped darkness. You must be wondering why your address was there and what else was written on that paper. The answer to that question changes everything and explains why the danger is so close to your doorstep. That is what I'm revealing next, because the discovery of that paper sets off the alarm for your family. When the spiritual guards found the paper the next morning, they initially thought it was nothing of importance. They assumed it was just a piece of trash blown in by the wind, debris from a stormy night. But one of them, driven by a divine curiosity, bent down and picked it up to examine it closer. He unfolded it slowly, and the moment his eyes met the words scrawled on that paper, his face turned pale. It wasn't just a piece of paper, it was the list, with names written in black ash that seemed to glow faintly. Each name trembled slightly on the page as if it were alive, pulsing with a dark energy. And next to every name was an address, real addresses where people lived and slept. These were the homes of people who had no idea they were being watched or targeted by such an ancient evil. My child, not every name on that list should worry you, for some have already met their fate in the past. Some of those names have already been erased, their stories concluded in tragedy. But the one name you must fear, the one that should make your heart stop, is the name that is listed as next. Because the next name on that list, written clearly in that dark ash, is your son's name, and right next to his name is your home address, marking the spot where the enemy intends to strike. This is the place where you feel safe, the place where he sleeps at night, and that is exactly where it is coming. The truth is that this thing has a plan, it is moving fast, and your son is the next objective. But what it plans to do when it reaches your home is far more terrifying than you could ever imagine. And if that terrifying reality hasn't shaken you to your core yet, then what I am about to reveal next surely will, because the nature of this threat is unlike anything you have faced before. You must understand that the cell this being escaped from was not built for a man, nor was it constructed of cold stone or tempered steel like the prisons of this earth. It was not a human cell designed to hold a mortal body, but a confinement designed for something far more potent and dangerous. It was something else entirely, something ancient, something not of this world, constructed to contain a force that defies natural laws. So what exactly is this cell, and who or what managed to escape from its eternal grip? That, my child, is exactly what I am revealing next, and once you hear it, you will never look at the world the same way again. My child, you must realize that this isn't a person with a human heart or human motives. It isn't even a living thing in the way you understand life. It is something that collects souls, a harvester of the spirit that has existed in the shadows for eons. It does not breathe air, it does not eat food, and it does not sleep or rest. It hunts in absolute silence, moving without footsteps, feeding on what cannot be seen by the naked eye but is felt by the spirit. The cell I am talking about, the one it broke out of, isn't located anywhere on this earth. It is not made of physical walls that can crumble or iron bars that can rust over time. It was not built by human hands using brick and mortar. It was built with pure light and sealed with divine fire. It is known by a name whispered only among the angels, a place of ultimate confinement called the heavenly prison. This is the specific place where the most dangerous souls are kept, entities that pose a threat to the spiritual order. These are the souls that once rose against heaven itself, daring to challenge the authority of the light. These are the entities that tried to bring chaos to the children of God, seeking to disrupt the peace of the faithful. Each one of them has been locked away for centuries, bound by chains of judgment. They are guarded by armies of angels who never sleep, surrounded by holy flames that nothing, absolutely nothing, is supposed to be able to pass through. But somehow, against all odds and laws of the Spirit, this one did. It broke the seal, the divine seal that even time itself obeys, shattering the lock that held it. It tore through the realms of light, ripping a hole in the fabric of the spiritual world, and slipped unnoticed into the human world. Now it walks among you, not bound by a physical body or casting a shadow, but driven by a dark hunger. It is drawn specifically by names written on that list, pulled toward them like a magnet to steel. And the first name in its path, the primary target it seeks, my child, is your son's. Yes, it is coming for him specifically, moving through the unseen to reach him. And the first address it will visit, the place it is heading toward right now, is yours. But why your son? Why, out of all the billions of people on this earth, would it choose him? Why not anyone else who might be easier to reach or less protected? Why is his name singled out of all the souls on earth to be the next target? That is the question burning in your heart right now, isn't it? The question that keeps you awake. And my child, the answer to that question will make the heavens tremble with its implications, because what I am about to reveal next is something you would have never imagined in your wildest dreams. It is the truth, hidden behind your son's destiny, the secret reason for his existence, and it explains exactly why this thing, this relentless collector, has marked him as next. My child, Listen carefully, because this escaped soul doesn't attack random people. It doesn't wander the earth aimlessly or strike without a very specific reason. No, it chooses its victims with terrifying precision. It hunts with a dark purpose. It looks for one kind of target, a specific type of soul that holds a certain frequency. It hunts those who love me, those who carry the light of heaven within them. It targets those who believe, those who hold fast to their faith when others let go. It seeks out those who pray, whose voices rise to heaven like incense. It hunts those who walk in my light, even when they are surrounded by darkness. And your son, yes, your precious son, he is one of them. That is the reason his name was written on that list of ash. That is why this creature is coming for him, ignoring others to get to him. Because it senses his faith, and it despises it with an ancient hatred. This dark soul feeds on belief, twisting it and consuming the energy of the faithful. It drinks from the fear of those who trust me most, hoping to turn their faith into despair. It hates the light because the light exposes its wretched nature. It hates prayer because prayer burns it like acid, weakening its hold. Faith weakens it, driving it back, and it seeks to extinguish that faith before it grows too strong. And your son's faith, my child, shines too brightly for it to ignore. His spirit is like a beacon in the spiritual realm, attracting this darkness because he is destined for greatness. But listen to me now, and listen well, for I am the Lord your God. I will not sit idly by and watch this happen to one of my own. I will not allow this spirit to touch what is mine, because your son belongs to me, and what belongs to me cannot be claimed by darkness, no matter how ancient or powerful. Yes, the creature moves fast, and it is approaching with terrible speed. Yes, it knows where you live, and it has your address committed to its dark memory, but I move faster than any evil, faster than any threat. And my hand is already reaching out before it even reaches your doorstep. I will trap it again, just as I did before. Why? Bind it in chains of holy fire, that it cannot break a second time. And I will lock it back inside the flames where it belongs, sealing the breach forever. Your son will not be harmed, and his faith will not be shaken by this trial. To seal this protection over your home and your son right now, I need you to take a stand in the spirit. Type "I claim divine protection" in the comments. Let your declaration be the shield that blocks the enemy's path, because your prayers, the ones you whispered in the night when you were afraid, have already reached my throne. I have heard every word, every tear, and every plea you have made for his safety. I have heard every word, every tear, and every plea, and I have already answered your cry before it even left your lips. The light of my presence is descending right now to cover your home like a fortress, sealing it against the encroachment of evil. The darkness that sought to enter will pass over you, because I, your Lord, am standing guard at the door. Nothing from this world or the shadows beyond will ever take your son away from me, for he is held in a grip that cannot be broken. My beloved child, let me share a profound truth with you today that will settle your spirit and anchor your heart in this season. As time goes by, we start to see that while some things might never change, we do. Circumstances may persist, and the world around you may remain chaotic, but inside, a shift is happening. Some situations persist, but you are not the same person you were yesterday, last month, or last year. You are evolving, transforming, and becoming something new in my hands, shaped by the very trials you feared would break you. We grow stronger and find ways to live with life as it is, not as we wish it were in our dreams. Not life as we planned it on paper, but life as it actually is, messy, complicated, imperfect, and real. And somehow, in accepting that reality, we find unexpected strength we didn't know we had. We fix what we can fix, taking action where we have power, and we learn to live with what we can't change. This is true wisdom. This is spiritual maturity manifesting in your life. It is knowing the difference between what is in your control and what isn't, and finding peace in that distinction. Changing what you can change and releasing what you cannot is the key to your freedom. Making peace with both allows you to walk through the fire without being consumed by the flames. Here is what I want you to understand deeply today. Maybe we won't ever feel completely okay in the way the world defines it. And that is okay too. Healing isn't about reaching some perfect state where nothing hurts anymore. Sometimes healing is simply about carrying your scars with grace and keeping your heart open despite the pain. But look at you. You are still here. You survived what you thought would destroy you completely. You are still showing up, even when it is hard, even when you don't feel like it. You are still doing your best, day after day, pushing through the fatigue and the fear. And I need you to know that your best is enough. It has always been enough in my eyes. You don't have to be perfectly healed to be worthy of my love or my protection. You don't have to have it all together to keep moving forward. You just have to keep moving. You are doing better than you think you are, navigating storms that would have sunk others. I am proud of you for still being here, for refusing to quit when the night was at its darkest. Keep going, my beloved child, but I need you to release that burden you've been carrying today. You don't need to worry about the next step in your life or try to predict the future. Stop trying to figure out the entire staircase before you turn. The first step, that is not your job. Stop stressing about what comes after this moment, because I have already written the chapters you haven't lived yet. All you need to do is put your trust in me and work hard at what is in front of you. That is it. Just two things. Trust me with the direction and work hard with the assignment. I will handle the rest. I will take care of the outcome and the destination. Here is my promise to you. I will place the right people along your path exactly when you need them. You won't have to search for them in desperation or manipulate circumstances to meet them. I am orchestrating divine connections, even as you read these words, aligning paths in the unseen realm, the right people at the right time for the right reasons. They are coming to you. Never forget this truth, for it is the rock upon which you stand. I have watched over you through it all, seeing every moment of your journey, every step you've taken, every valley you've walked through, every mountain you've climbed. I was there protecting, guiding, and covering you with my grace. Not one moment were you alone, even when the silence felt deafening. And I will always watch over you, my vigilance never wavering. Not just today, not just during the good times when the sun is shining. Always in every season, through every storm, in every situation you face. My eyes never leave you. They are fixed on you with a love that is fierce and protective. My hand never releases you. I hold you fast even when your grip slips. You are not navigating this life alone. You never were, despite how it felt you never will be, for I am the constant in your changing world. So breathe. Let go of the anxiety about tomorrow that tightens your chest. Trust me. Work hard. Watch me work on your behalf. If you believe, you will see miracles unfold right before your eyes. I have got you. I am holding you and I am leading you. Always have, always will. This is my vow to you. My beloved child, pay close attention to what I am telling you right now, for we are reaching the climax of this revelation. You will soon be presented with an opportunity that is not just a lucky break or a random occurrence. It is a divine setup that will change your life for the better, altering the very fabric of your daily existence. This isn't a maybe, and it isn't a hope so. This is a certainty written in the stars. This isn't just a possibility floating in the wind. This is a divine appointment I have already scheduled on your timeline. An opportunity is heading in your direction with the force of a freight train, and it will not miss its mark. It is one that will shift everything you know, your finances, your purpose, your direction, and your entire trajectory. When it comes, you won't have to wonder if it is right or if it is a trap from the enemy. You will know it is from me, because it will carry a specific peace that surpasses understanding. It will feel different from anything you have chased in the past. It will resonate deeply with your spirit. Do not second-guess it when it appears, and do not look at your own inadequacy and think you are not ready. Don't let fear talk you out of walking through the door I am opening for you. Don't let doubt make you hesitate on the threshold of your greatest season. If you are reading this, you need to understand that an explosion of success is right around the corner. I am not talking about a small improvement or a slight adjustment to your circumstances. I am talking about an explosion. Sudden, dramatic, and undeniable. It will not be a trickle of water in the desert. It will be a flood of favor that sweeps away the dry seasons of your past. It is a success that catches you off guard and leaves everyone watching you in absolute surprise. Everything you have been working for in the dark, every seed you have sown in tears is about to harvest. Everything you have been praying for, waiting for, and believing for when no one else believed is about to converge. It is all coming together in one powerful, singular moment of breakthrough that will define your future. You are turning a corner right now, leaving the shadowy valley behind you. Success is waiting on the other side of this bend, standing there with open arms to welcome you home. This is the moment where your preparation finally meets my supernatural provision. This is where your faithfulness in the small things meets my favor in the big things. Your patience, which has been tested in the fire, is finally meeting my perfect timing. So get ready, my child. Position yourself to receive what is falling from heaven. Open your eyes and stop looking at the ground in defeat. Look up, for your redemption draws near. Stay alert, for the opportunity is coming swiftly, and you do not want to be asleep when it knocks. The explosion is imminent, the fuse is lit, and your life is about to change forever. Receive it now in faith, before you see it with your natural eyes. It is already done in the Spirit. The paperwork is signed in heaven, and the delivery is en route. My beloved child, it is time to get excited again about your life. I know you have been tired, worn down by the constant battles and the endless waiting. I know hope has felt heavy lately, like a burden rather than a pair of wings. I know you have protected your heart from disappointment by lowering your expectations, afraid to believe for too much. You have tried to stay safe by not asking for big things, thinking it hurts less if you don't expect them. But today, right now, I am telling you to break those walls down and get excited. Let that childlike anticipation rise up in your spirit again. Remember what it feels like to believe in magic. I am going to surprise you in ways that will make you laugh with pure joy, not with what you have been expecting or asking for in your limited understanding, not with what you've been planning on your vision board or in your journals, but with something so much better, so much grander than anything you could orchestrate yourself. My surprises exceed your strategies. My imagination for your life is infinitely bigger than yours. My plans trump your plans every single time, and what I have cooked up for you is a masterpiece. Unexpected blessings are coming your way, flying in from directions you didn't even know existed. You didn't see them coming because they weren't on your radar. They were hidden in my grace. You didn't plan for them because they are beyond your human capacity to predict. You didn't manipulate circumstances or force doors open to make them happen. That is exactly how you will know they are from me and not from your own striving. They are completely unexpected, undeniably supernatural, and drenched in my love for you. Now, here is what I need from you to make room for this avalanche of blessing. Let go of all the stress that has been knotting your stomach and clouding your mind. Trust me enough to unclench your fists and release the control you are trying to hold on to. Put it down. The weight is too heavy for you, and it was never yours to carry. Release it into my hands and watch what I can do with it. That anxiety about how things will work out, about the bills and the future, give it to me. That worry about timing, about whether you're too late or too old, hand it over. That fear that it won't happen, that you will be forgotten, let it go right now. I am going to rock your world in the most beautiful way possible. I am going to shake everything that can be shaken so that only the good remains. I am going to shift everything in your favor and transform everything that looks like a mess into a miracle. What I'm about to do will leave you speechless, unable to find the words to describe my goodness. It will leave you breathless, gasping in absolute awe of how perfectly I tie loose ends together. Get ready, my child. Prepare your heart to handle the weight of glory that is coming. Open your hands wide. Do not approach me with a cup. Approach me with an ocean. Expand your capacity to receive, for I am pouring out a blessing that you will not have room enough to contain. The surprise is already in motion. The gears of heaven are turning in your favor. The blessings are already on their way, dispatched and hurtling toward your timeline. Your world is about to be rocked, flipped right side up, and filled with light. Buckle up, for the ride of your life is just beginning, and I am driving. My child, if you receive this word and you are ready for the explosion of success, do not leave this moment without sealing it. To ensure this message reaches every soul who needs hope, and to lock in your alignment with this prophecy, please click the subscribe button right now. Join our family of believers and let us walk into this season of abundance together.